starting this, I knew that adapting to play RS3 on a controller wasn't going to be too much of an issue. I'd already been using my controller as a mouse for close to 2 years, and the skill honestly passes over pretty smoothly from first-person shooter games, even if I wasn't ever really very good at those. Although my click accuracy isn't perfect, and likely never will be, the vast majority of encounters for casual players give you plenty of time to recover and adjust if you need to. Unless you're going for sweaty, high-efficiency kills in, say, hard mode Zuck, close tends to be good enough. So that's what I set out to prove, that alternate methods of play are available to those that need them, and that every encounter in the game could be achieved this way. Then along came Nakatra. Honestly, pretty simple in normal mode, but then there's hard mode. A long fight with a lot of mechanics, requiring rapid click accuracy and near perfect placement throughout the entire encounter, and I may have gotten a little bit obsessed with this one. Thanks to some advice from some brilliant people in my Twitch chat and an insane donation of 2 bill from a viewer called Foxy114, thank you dude, which would be used for full tier 95 necro and supplies. 89 increasingly expensive attempts later, I finally did it.
Yes! Oh, fuck! I did it!
And here's how. First off, if you want to know how I set all of this up, go check out this video I made a few months back. Some of the details are a little out of date, but it shows you how to do it. And it's pretty close to 1,000 views now, so that's pretty cool. I'm using a DualSense Scuff Reflex FPS, and this has 2 things that make controller play a lot more viable: digital triggers and back paddles. Mouse control is on the right stick, left control is on the right trigger, and right click is on the left trigger. Camera control is on the left stick, and I zoom in and out with the touchpad. The back pedals are set to R3 and L3 press on the controller, which are shift and control in my Steam settings, so it's pretty simple to hold them and press any of the other face buttons. If you don't have a controller with paddles, the bumpers would be the next best thing for modifiers. Paddles allow for 6 extra binds, unless you want to try playing claw and keeping R3 and L3 press. I would be very interested in how that turns out, let me know. So as for what is bound where, most of these I'm going to leave because binds are entirely subjective, but there are some tips that might help. Eat, press swaps and basics are all on the D-pad, which allows for your right hand to still be free for mouse control, whilst still being able to activate these abilities. Eat food and bruise are 1 modifier apart on the same button, so it's easier to double eat. Similarly, movement abilities are a modifier apart to make the surge dive surge thing easier, which is why you see me fly all over the place sometimes, because, yeah. Knocked the fuck surge, but I was already gonna die, yeah. These are on the share button, which is also on the left side of the controller. So that's the majority of the basics. Most of my binds are a mess outside of this. So now I'll just try and walk you through what I'm actually doing throughout the fight. Oh, and one last thing. Something that I noticed while learning this fight was that whilst my click accuracy hasn't shown any improvement for other tasks in the game, the specific movements needed on the right stick seem to have sunk into muscle memory and have gotten smoother throughout the attempts. The opening has quite the sequence, so I'll just run this down beforehand. Also, I just noticed that my overlay has the sticks the wrong way around. It hasn't been updated since I got the new controller. I might need to fix that. So, once all my boosts are done, I click Summon Army and Live Transfer, then left on the D-pad to eat the rocktail that's first in my inventory. Then hold down the right paddle, press share to ready dive, triangle to invoke death, R1 to split soul, let go of the paddle, share again to surge while lining up the mouse with the right stick to roughly the right spot to dive. Repeat to target Nakatra, left paddle L1 to vol, circle for skulls, triangle to bloat, click the adrenaline pot, then prepare for the first treadmills. Each time I click to step, I will follow it with pressing up on the D-pad to retarget Nakatra, and right or down instead if I happen to notice any of those abilities are off cooldown. When she first says prepare to die, hold the left paddle, then press right and then circle for Mage Pray and Devotion respectively. I'll sometimes throw a finger in here with square. Then we have scarabs, so I dodge the first treadmill, then target the bomb scarab, right paddle up for soul sap, dodge the treadmill and retarget Nakatra. Ready dive, right paddle circle for threads, then tier 90 weapon spec with R1. Didn't need to dive here, thankfully RNG was on my side in this fight. So we have her second prepare for death, L1 to debilitate, right paddle R1 to reflect and left paddle X for shield dome.
Oh shit, familiar health.
Yeah. Right paddle X for Prism of Restoration. So we have scarabs again, soul sap, then target Nakatra. Need to dive earlier this time, so threads and weapons back once safe. Then a third prepare for death, so back to devotion. This bit is just a skill issue on my part, because I'm a filthy casual. I dive to the dogs, invoke death, Vuln, and just try to DPS. I'll speed this up a little bit for you. So the dogs be dead, we retarget the Nakatra, left paddle down to protect melee, then once dragged under, threads, and I just hope my DPS and click accuracy is good enough to get back out.
Hourglass pyramid.
Back in the arena, it's left paddle up to switch back to soul split, surge and prep dive while trying to line up the mouse with the correct tile, then left paddle L1 and I'll throw as many abilities as I remember to after stepping forwards. The waves are tricky, but I have pulled it off without getting hit at all a few times.
Right, yeah, I'm gonna miss this. Okay, we got lucky.
And then the madness begins. This is just a case of trying to survive now. Sometimes I get lucky and not many spawn on me. Sometimes I tank a few and still manage to get through, which is what happened here. You've got everything now, so I'll just let you enjoy the rest of the kill.
Okay, second one. So man and cat. Man cat. Come on. There it is. Too early. Too late. No, not quite.
She is so close to dead. Come on. Yes! Oh, fuck. I did it.
A few minutes later.
Right, what we got? What we got? But Chunky, you've been here most of the way to 02. Oh, man. 5.2 mil. Ah, the sparks. That's not a bad drop. I'm happy with that.